Right, so the next song is In Christ Alone. It's in the key of D, and this is a good song to practice micro dynamics. You know, as we go through the verse one, verse two, there's a bridge, and there's verse three. A lot of the hymns, they have repeating verses. So even though, you know, through the verse you want to be say more intense, more powerful, we have to also practice how to manage the micro dynamics. So say verse one, we want to do it lightly, but can we have dynamics within that light, you know, verse one, for example. And let me show you verse one real quick. So this is again very light. This is just opening part of the song, very selective chord colorings. But then in between, you want to have certain attacks at certain locations. I usually go through the lyric and see where it needs a little bit of punch, and a little bit of tension, and a little bit of release. So within that verse, I try to again have the micro dynamic there. And also, I would just want to point out that this song is 3/4, 3/4, and this is also another challenge that we face when we are singing hymns. We can sing it, and a lot of times we play the note along with the song, and then we don't really pay attention to the time signature. For this song, the Kristian Stanfill version, there's the intro, which is in the again the time signature of 3/4, and a lot of people are struggling on how to where to play, when to start playing the intro. So we'll after we finish verse one, we'll go to the intro or the interlude. They're the same, and pay attention with the count, the 1, 2, 3 count. Okay, let's just do verse one. And then the verse one, in Christ alone,
my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are stilled, when striving cease. My comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ I stand.
All right, so okay, Jennifer will help counting to 3. Okay, from my comforter, my all in all the way towards the interlude, the intro, the interlude. Okay.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Right. So that's the again the micro dynamic and the time signature of 3. So let's try verse 2. We can just do it just the piano. So this is verse 2 is more than verse 1. The macro dynamic, but then micro dynamic wise, we also want to have a little bit of variation there within. Okay, this is how verse 2 would sound if I would play it. And then this is an example. Of course, you can play whichever you usually play, but just pay attention to the microdynamics. I think that helps make hymns less boring, especially for the more contemporary crowd. And the bridge here is just one or two notes. I think it's just very simple, but then we want to make it more majestic. And I get these questions a lot. How do you make songs? How do you make song majestic sounding? We know how to make song with a lot of tension, right? So we play a lot of heavy, a lot of double bass, continuous repeating pattern that will make a lot of tension, a lot of heaviness in the song. Now, how do we make song sounds majestic? So in my mind, when I hear majesty, in my mind, I sense, I imagine something that's big, something that's massive, and things that are massive are usually slow moving, and things that are massive reminds me of massive cave, for example. So you have a lot of echo. Yeah. So if you want to make a song or a section of a song sounds majestic, so you almost want to slow down, not slow down the tempo, but then you want to put less frequent attacks. But when you do attack, it has to be loud. So you want to, again, loud attack, less frequent. And I usually use a lot of fifth chords. I don't use set color chords anymore, but it's just fifths, a lot of fifths. And then the echo part, well, it's easier to show than tell. So let's just go to the bridge. Again, this is supposed to be majestic, and a lot of tension near the end of the bridge, because we're going back to the intro again, which is the release there. So the bridge is just D, G, starts D and then go to G. So let's do this again. Double bass here. Right, so that's one way to do it. A lot of fifth, complete just major chord, wide. You don't want to be close to the notes. You want to make it wide to make it full. Double bass, and I usually leave this part empty, so just wide like this. Okay, let's just do the bridge. A lot of it comes with the how you play the left hand. That's where the echo part comes into play. So the way I do the bass, the left hand is like this. Right, so that's supposed to be the echo. So I put a lot of attack here. There's not a lot of it's not frequent. If I would play it frequently, and this is not going to be majestic, but this is going to be something else, intense, maybe very powerful, but not majestic. It's going to be like this, the bridge. Right, that's not what we really want. If we want majestic, it may sound something like. Again, let me play the bridge for you. Again, we use a lot of echoing technique. You know, like an echo, and on the right hand you wanna just major chord. Sometimes you can do 7, right? But I try not to do it too much. open wide chords and just leave this area a little bit empty. So yeah, let's do this. I find my strength. And then the second part of the bridge, we actually want a little bit of tension. So that's where I start playing more frequent actually on my left hand. Right, there's no echo technique there. It's just full on continuous. And the point of this is we want to have a lot of tension as we're going to the release. Let me start again. The second part of the bridge, I give my life, I give my all, I sing this song to Christ alone. And then we go to the release, which is the intro. Right, let me just play again the bridge from the beginning to end. Again, the first half will be majestic, the second half will be a lot of tension, and then the release is in the intro/interlude.